Ooh. Oh, damn.
Let's crack straight into it.
The biggest choice of the night is which one do we open? Because once we pop, we can't stop. This is literally the biggest choice of the night. I think bottom's winning at the moment. All right, let's go with bottom. All right, sorry, the way it's gonna work, I'm gonna fully open this one today. Then, after I get back from my little trip next week, I'll start opening a booster a day till we get through 3 more boxes. I got 1 more box on the way. And I'll probably do the same setup as before. So there's no giveaway for this, but what I'll do is the same setup is I'm gonna do the best card of the box we'll be giving away. The best card of each box. So it could be like a $400 card. Just give it away. Why? Fucking, I got no other. I'm just doing this for fun. I just like ripping open packets. So it's like doing IRL shop simulator, TCG shop simulator. Hey, if we get the Ancient Tomb kit, I'll call it a huge W. Sure. I'm not opening all 3 tonight. No giveaway from this box. This is my personal box. This one is for Pestilli. You have just decided which box is Pestilli's box. And this is the box of all boxes because it's my box. And you do not get to touch my box. Whereas these other boxes are your boxes. You may touch these boxes, but I am not. This is the Pestilli Treat Yourself box. Yeah, exactly. Is there a special way to open these? This is my first time I've ever opened a box of a collector. It's just, oh, fancy. That's it. That's everything. Pestilli is a hand model. They're very manly hands. 15 cards per box. That's how we open our boxes. There's nothing else in there. Should I put the... Nah, we don't need to have the box in view. We got boosters in view. I'm just hoping... Wait, do we do... Nah, let's just rip from the top. Let's just rip from the top. Yeah? Should we just go from the top? Let's not make this any harder than it needs to be. All right, so yeah, pretty much this one is for me. It's a bit of fun. Thought it'd open on stream. And that's why I wanted to do it straight away. I am feeling much better, Digital Steve. Pestilli 2, the opening. Did WOTC give you early access? No, Wizard of the Coast, no. I bought these from a shop. It's Pestilli's box, you do you. Exactly. Sage, have to go pick up the kids, good luck. Magic, are you ready to go? A buddy that used to own a card shop used to keep one of those big handled paper cutters on his counter just for playing flip it or rip it with the customers. Did you not go to the doctors or just stay home and rest? Both. I went to the hospital even. How? They aren't even out in Australia yet. Listen, if you beg hard enough, people will make it happen. I'm not going to keep up. Just rip and I'll catch the VOD. All right. Why are these so hard to rip open? Am I doing it wrong? A collector boost is harder to rip. Maybe I've got to rip from the bottom. Actually, okay, is there a spot you're meant to rip these? They are notoriously harder to open. Okay. Okay, we're good. Yep, okay. I know the strength that I need. We're just gonna take our time. Like I said, this is for fun. Wait, yeah, we open from the bottom. Robot jellyfish. So is the whole idea of collector boosters is they're all shiny. This is what when you may cast this card from your hand for its warp cost. Exile this creature at the beginning of your next end step. Then you may cast it from exile on a later turn. That's pretty cool. Wait, so you cast it for 3 even though it's a 6 cost? Oh, Magic's already on it. 25 cents. Yes, the more rares, mythics, and some exclusive... Oh yeah, collector boosters are all foil and have a very, very low chance for a card to be serialized. I don't think there's any serialized in this set. Is there, chat? It's a 6 cost with a 3 cost ability. No, that's not an ability. You may cast this card from your hand for its warp cost. The warp cost is 3. Then you get to use it once and then chuck it. And then cast it again for the full 6. So you cast this on turn 3 I'm not going to take this long on every card, I promise. You can cast this on turn 3, and then once you get rid of it, later on cast it when you've got the 6 mana. So yeah, anyway. Peregrine Beckoner. So he's got a warp cost of 2, even though it's a 5. This creature enters until end of turn. Another creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains when this creature dies. Return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. Far out. Okay. Do I expose them like this and then stack them at the end? When this creature enters, put a +1/+. They all got warp. Have you noticed that? Weft Blade Enhancer. Weft Blade Enhancer. Well, we've gotten 3 creatures. 4 creatures in a row. It's just a very creature-heavy deck. The Cav Landseeker. There's a Kavu Soldier. We've had a Drix Artificer, a Horror, and a Robot Jellyfish. When this creature enters, create a lander token. At the beginning of the end step on your next turn, sacrifice that token. Okay. There's 15 cards in this, so I'll go 3 rows of 5. Let's do that. All right, Divot Disaster. Counter target spell unless the controller plays 2. If they do, you create a lander token. So it's an artifact with 2-cost tap. Sacrifice this token, search your library for a basic land card, put it in the battlefield tap, then shuffle. Okay. Is that new? A lander token's new? It's not divert, it's divot. D-E-V-E-R-T. Divot. Oh, this looks cool as fuck. They don't normally have the art going out the side. Is that... When the spacecraft enters, each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. Station. Tap another creature you control. Tap another creature you control. Put charge counters equal to its power on this spacecraft. Stations only as a sorcery. It's an artifact creature at 7+. So station, tap another creature you control, put a charge counter equal to its power on this spacecraft. Stations only as a sorcery. It's an artifact creature at 7+. And, oh wait, so 7+ it gets flying as well. This is cool. This is cool. Our first uncommon. Reroute the systems. Hang on, my boss is probably messaging me. No, not my boss, just Sweets Gaming telling me she's watching. You know, you could be in chat, Sweets. Sorry, reroute systems. Choose one target artifact or creature gains indestructible until end of turn. Damage the effect that says destroy, don't destroy it. Reroute system deals 2 damage to target tapped creature. How cool is this though? Just going back to this other one, sorry. I know I'm probably annoying for people that like want to just look at cards, but how cool is it that the art goes outside the box? Like compared to that, whoop, like boring, cool as fuck. They should all be like this moving forward. All right, reroute systems, goodbye. Harmonious Grove Strider. Now I've been really getting into the green. In the past I was actually more of a blue/white kind of person, but green's been my thing. 5 cost, award 2. This creature's power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. Alfrail, Dreaming Alkalite. When Alfrail enters, draw 2 cards and destroy 2 cards unless you destroy an artifact. During your turn, Alfrail has Death Touch. To a legendary creature. Oh, this is cool. How cool is that? Sorry, I was just placing that down. How cool is that, like, shine as it comes through the middle? Adam, you've done us proud. I want all my lands to look like this. An Exiled Sunborn. Mythic. Angel Wizard. Did I say exiled? Exalted. Exalted Sunborn. Flying Lifelink. 5 cost. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, twice as many as those tokens are created instead. And it has Warp. Wait, you can cast this for 2. Put it into play, make some more tokens on your next turn, and then it goes to the exile page, like stack, and then... I said lifelink. Lifelink, not lifelink. Apparently there's 25 buckaroonies. All right, here we go. What's next? Wait, does that feel extra thick? The Festering Thicket. Wait, that last one was 56 bucks? This is not foil. I thought they were all meant to be foil. The Festering Thicket is not foil. Did I get jibbed? Foil or showcase? Sorry, this is actually hurting my back. I've never done it like this before. I might need to sit down. All right, here we go, next one. The Eternity Elevator. Tap, add 3 mana, station. I don't get it. Tap, add X mana to any one color, where X is the number of charges counters on the elevator, in Eternity Elevator. So when you get to 20 plus, tap X mana of any one color, where X is the number of charge counters on the Eternity Elevator. This is above my pay grade. At 20 or more charge counters, it gains that ability. So you gotta put 20 counters on it to get that ability. You have to devote power from your creatures to a total of 20 or more over time to get the benefit, but it's pretty good. Tap the total of 20 power creatures to make this, okay. All right. You ready? Whoa. Creeping Tar Pit. The reason why I bought so much of the Edging to Eternity collectors is because I always think space is cool as fuck. And I love what they've done with the art. Even though like I haven't been diehard Magic fan for long, I could totally get behind some space magic. All right, land enters tapped, add blue or black. 3 cost until end of turn. This land becomes a 3/2 blue and black elemental creature. It's still a land. It can't be blocked this turn. I am a diehard Edging fan. Yeah. All right, next one. Ooh, another cool looking land. How nice is that? The light of my studio kind of ruins it, but I wish I could. Maybe I'll move this way a little bit. They look so cool. Watery Grave, Island Swamp, and a blue or black. As this land enters, you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters tapped. And I got one more. I got 16 cards. I got a bonus card. Cheeky little art card. This is fun. This is fun. Now what do? I have to pack these up so we can do the next one. I never really thought that hunching over to open booster packs would hurt my back. I need to like limber up for this. Do I sleeve them all? Probably should, hey. All right. Again. All right. According to TCG Player, full foil, full art, $250. Nah, I think you're looking at there's like a galaxy foil that looks different to that foil. You'll see it when we get one, all right? Ice Crave Crasher. Trample landfall. When a land you control enters, this creature gets +1/+0 till end of turn. Virus Beetle. When this creature enters, each opponent discards a card. How late are you? We're on the second booster of 12. Sky Stinger. Reach. When this creature blocks a creature with flying, this creature gets +5/+0 until end of turn. Oh, wow. Wow. Embrace Oblivion. Sorcery. As an additional cost to this cast, this spell, sacrifice an artifact or a creature. Destroy target creature or spacecraft. That's a 1 cost too. Cav Landseeker, 4 cost. Menace. Like, it has to be blocked by 2. Yep. When this creature enters, create a lander token at the beginning of the end step of your next turn. Sacrifice that token. It's an artifact with 2 cost. Yep, we know what landers are now. Wait, didn't I have this one before? I had this exact same one in the last pack. Sadness, despair. Copies already. Pulsar Squadron Ace, a human pilot. When this creature enters, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a spacecraft card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest to the bottom of your library in random order. If you didn't put a card into your hand this way, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. It's pretty cool. It's actually really cool for a 2 cost. All right. Molecular modifier. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. The Monoist Sentry. Defender. It's a 4/1. Wait, is the Defender similar to a wall? Like it can't attack? What's the difference between Defender and wall? Same? Okay, so it's just change the name. Just to confuse the old people like me. Broodguard Elite, X cost 2. This creature enters with X +1/+1 counters. When this creature leaves the battlefield, put its counters on target creature you control. And it has Warp. So you could cast it twice. Okay, this is cool. This is cool. Bro, that's such a strong card for both late and early. Oh boy. Look at that island. Our very first space island. I'm sure it looks good in the camera. It looks way cooler in person. Trust. All right. Frenzied Baloth. It is Delissimo, yeah. Frenzied Baloth. This spell can't be countered. Trample haste. Creature spells you control can't be countered. Combat damage can't be prevented. Solar Array. Non-foil. Add 1 mana of any color. When you next cast an artifact spell this turn, the spell gains Sunburst. What is Sunburst? Add 1 mana of any color when you next cast an artifact spell on this turn, that spell gains Sunburst. What the fuck is Sunburst? What did you like to know? I would like to know. What is Sunburst? Especially you're peeking. Sunburst thing. This thing enters the number of charge counters equal to the different mana type spent on it. It enters with a +1/+1 counter on it equal to the different colored manas used to cast. Ah, so if you use like 4 different colors, you get +4/+4. Okay, cool. Sunburst. Okay, so we've got the Motinios Massacre. Boy, this is an expensive spell. Two fire, 2 swamp, and 3. Choose odd or even. Destroy each creature with mana value of the chosen quality. Then gain control of all creatures until end of turn. Untap them. They gain haste until end of turn. That's an I win card. That's a straight up I win card. It only costs 7. Stake from Tarkle, thanks for 4 months, mate. Very expensive I win though. The Needle Spires. This land enters tapped. Add a fire or a white. The plains. For 4 costs until end of turn, this land becomes a 2/1 red-white elemental creature with double strike. It's still a land. Last but not least, Extinguisher Battleship in the foil. When the spacecraft enters, destroy target non-creature permanent. Then this spacecraft deals 4 damage to each creature. Station. 5+. Flying, trample, 10. Wait, this is a 10/10 when it enters. So it's 8 cost, 10/10, and it gets flying and trample. Once it gets 5 counters. And then the art card? No. What the fuck is this? It's a token. It's our lander token. Hut. That will look pretty cool to me. All right. Cool factor. I think probably the Extinguisher Battleship probably looks the coolest out of this one. Or the island. The lands are just delissimo, you know? I'm honest when I'm saying this. Like, I actually think the camera kind of makes this look not as cool. This is like really cool looking. We haven't seen one of the new Galaxy Folds yet, but just for a land, it looks so cool. That with our swamp. All right. It's so much harder to rip. There we go. All right. Here we go, Orbital Plunge. Orbital Plunge deals 6 damage to a target creature. If XX damage was dealt, this creature create a lander token. Radiant Strike, destroy target artifact or tapped creature, you gain 3 life. Drix Fate Maker. 4 costs, when this creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has trample and it has warp. Warp is going to be so confusing at first, and then it's just going to be so OP later on. Embrace Oblivion. As an additional cost to this cast, this spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature, destroy target creature or spacecraft. We've already had one of them. Sky Stinger, we've already had one of them too. Roving Actuator. It's a 4 cost 3/4 artifact creature robot. When this creature enters, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped this turn, exile up to 1 target instant or sorcery card with a mana value 2 or less from your graveyard. Copy it, you may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. Ooh. Let me guess, your trip is related to BSG Tour? It's not, no. Seed Ship Argarian. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, create a lander token. If an artifact, oh yeah, we know, and landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, put a +1/+1 on this creature. Mecha Navigator. When this creature becomes tapped, draw a card, then discard a card. Jewel Sun Adepts. Double Strike. With 5 cost, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. I've never found something like that work well for me, where you're like 5 cost, +1/+1 until end of turn. Maybe there's a way of getting like 1,000 mana and then you're just like, oh, all my creatures now have +20/+20 or whatever, but Pokemon went. Look, honestly, I will open Pokemon cards. I'm not paying for Pokemon cards, okay? If you want Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh!, PO boxes underneath the stream, you send me whatever you want, I'll open it, all right? Hell, if you put a box and you're shipping, and a box and like, with your shipping address inside the package, I'll even ship it back to you. But I'm not buying Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'm gonna stick to one thing for me, okay? Anyway, moving on. Oh boy. Look at this land. Is that the galaxy foil with the dots? My light on the ceiling is ruining it, but it's actually golden. It's actually golden. If galaxy foil is $127, no way. There is no way. It is actually golden though. Yeah, it's massively inflated. Look, all that's gold in there. You effed up? Yeah, you did. There's no way it's worth that much. $4.57? Yeah, I was gonna say. Still, coolest looking land out of any set ever. So, Vondum Sunstar Exemplar. 2 cost legendary creature, human knight. Vigilant menace. Whenever another creature you control dies or is put into exile, put a +1/+1 counter on Sir Vondum and gain 1 life. Sir Vondum dies or is put into an exile while its power of 4 or greater, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. The Uthros Research Craft. Station. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, draw a card, put a charge counter on the spacecraft. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, draw a card, put a charge counter on this spacecraft. Flying 0/8. This spacecraft gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control. I think it's going to be really interesting how these all work. Back-to-back spacecrafts. All right. 4/4 for 1 cost. So can a station not attack straight away? Or can you literally play this and have a 4/4 to attack with? At the beginning of your combat on your turn, up to one target, so one other target artifact you control becomes an artifact creature with base power and toughness of 2/2, gains flying until end of turn. It isn't a creature until you put counters on it. Just like vehicles. And then when you get 9 counters on it, it's got flying and vigilance. Ooh, what is this? The Hissing Quagmire Galaxy Foil. Look at that. That is so cool. This land is tapped. Until end of turn, the land becomes a 2/2 black, green elemental creature with Death Touch. I know I use a very good camera for this, but it really doesn't give it justice. Like, you can see the galaxy foil bit there, but like the shadow of the camera is in the middle of the card there. But if I go too far that way, it's getting smashed by the my ceiling light. So maybe if I go that way more, there we go. That kind of works better if I tilt it forward. It looks so cool. Whoop. Aphriel Stone Chosen. Legendary creature, human cleric. Is this a banger pack or what? Foil mythic. Discard a card at random. Oh, it's the ward. Void. Whenever Aphriel attacks, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or spell was warped this turn, defending player loses half their life rounded up. What? And then last but not least is our token card. Robot Drone. That was a banging pack, by the way. Pack number 3, coming in with the goods. Cool looking Galaxy Foil Mountain. Cool looking Galaxy Foil Hissing Quagmire. An Aphriel Stone Chosen. It's not a hissing, it's a missing Quagmire. Okay? Listen, I'm the streamer, I know how to read cards, right? I was in the infantry for 8 years. That definitely says missing Quagmire. Put that one in the good pile. The cool to look at later pile. What is with the lands though? The lands coming in pog. All right. Here we go, number 4. This one could be dedicated towards Magic Man 1358 because he's the one that does the spreadsheet. So the editor knows how much they're all worth. Hey Perfector, how you doing, man? Maybe it works better going that way? There. So yeah, if it's a crappy one, then we know who to blame. All right, I think we had this one last time. Radiant Strike, 4 cost, destroy target artifact or tapped creature. Orbital Plunge, we had this one before. All right, if we've got the same card again, I'm just gonna skip, okay? Intrepid Tenderfoot, 2 cost, 3. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, activate only as a sorcery. Galactic Wayfarer, Human Scout. When this creature enters, create a lander. 3 cost, 3/3. Oh, the Divot Disaster. We've had that one before too. Counterspell. Unravel. Counter target spell. If the amount of the mana spent to cast a spell was less than its mana value. Wait. Counter target spell. If the amount of mana spent to cast that spell was less than its mana value, you draw a card. Wait, so if it's less than 3, I draw a card. Okay. Invasive Maneuvers. Invasive Maneuvers deals 3 damage to a target creature. It deals 5 damage to instead if you control a spacecraft. That's cool. Jewel Sun Technique. Target creature you control gains double strike until end of turn. If it has a +1/+1 counter, draw a card. Biomechan Engineer. 2/2. When this creature enters, create a lander. 8 cost. Draw 2 cards. Create a 2/2 colors robot artifact creature token. So if an opponent uses something like Omniscience to play a spell for free, you draw a card. Ah. Has nothing to do with the 3 mana cost. Okay. And our first, Forest. Normal foil, not Galaxy. Still looks pog as fuck. Loving the lands. Memorial Vault. They're really leaning into artifacts here. Thanks, Usk. Thank you very much. Memorial Vault, 4 cost. Not an ancient tomb. Sacrifice another artifact. Exile the top X cards of your library, where X is 1 plus the mana value of the sacrificed artifact. You may play those cards this turn. A Death Shaker Titan. Non-foil. When this creature enters, any number of target non-creature artifacts you control become 3/3 artifact creatures. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. That each artifact creature you control has melee, trample, and haste. Can someone explain to me what melee is? What is the melee? Is that an old school thing? I feel like melee is something like you can only attack and not block. Someone has to be Googling right now. Melee, when this dude attacks, it gets +1/+1 for each different opponent you're attacking. It's a commander thing. Ah, that's cool. Diadrine Synthesis Amalgam. Legendary artifact creature. X Forest Plains. Trample Diadrine enters with a number of +1/+1 counters on equal to the amount of mana spent to cast it. Whenever you attack, you may remove a +1/+1 counter from each of 2 creatures you control if you do draw a card and create a 2/2 colors robot artifact creature token. It's cool. The Nesting Grounds foil. Magic Man, you've got one more card to clutch up. This looks so cool though. All right, Magic Man, it's all on you. Singularity Rupture foil. Destroy all creatures, then any number of target players each mill half their library rounded down. That's a funny card. And then the art card. Very pretty. Very pretty. This is Beyond the Quiet by Serena Malion. Right. Probably the standout card. Probably coolest looking is the Singularity Rupture. The Diadrine is actually cool looking too. Nesting Ground has probably been the least coolest of all our special lands so far. The land cards have been so pog so far though. It's unlikely that I'll ever have enough like land. Actually, I do have a fair few of these to open. So maybe I will get enough to actually make a full deck of cool looking lands. I think I like these cards more than Final Fantasy. I think the only reason Final Fantasy was so popular because it was actually Final Fantasy, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I really liked them. But like, art-wise, I think these are cooler. All right, this is number 5. All right. Ilvoy Galeblade. 1 cost flash, flying, sacrifices creature, draw a card. Nutrient block, 1 cost artifact food. Indestructible, sacrifices creature, you gain 3 life. When this artifact is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. Virus Beetle, we've already seen. Ilvoy Lightjammer, 2 cost flash, when this equipment enters, attach it to the target creature you control. That creature gains hexproof until end of turn. It's kind of like a counter spell. Equip creature gets +1/+2, and it's equip 3, so you can put it on other stuff. Bright Spear Zealot. This creature gets +2/+0 as long as you've cast 2 or more spells this turn. Rayblade Trooper. A lot of human soldiers. When this creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. When a non-token creature you control with +1/+1 counter on it dies, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. And it has war. That's pretty cool. Override. System Override. Gain control of target artifact or creature until end of turn. Untap the permanent, gains haste until end of turn. If it's a spacecraft, put 10 charge counters on it. If you do, remove 10 charge counters from it at the beginning of the next end step. That is cool as fuck. Someone plays their space station and you're like, bam, I'll take that. Bam, I'll do all this with it. Bam, you take it back and lose it. Lose all the counters. That is cool. That is cool. Annul counter target artifact or enchantment spell. Haley Ascendant Cadet. Legendary creature. Whenever Haley enters or attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever one or more creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. That's really cool. Oh, Galaxy Foil Plains. I knew Usk would bring the goods, you know? When a mod works as hard as Usk does, the goods come. Galaxy Foil Plains. That is hella nice. Stomping Ground. As this land enters, you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters tapped. Radiant Summit. How many lands is it we have to? 3. This one's non-foil. This land enters tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. Starwinder. It's a Leviathan. This is like I was talking about earlier. It's going back to my glory days. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw that many cards. Warp 4 cost. That is cool. So you could be like, all right, let's put this out. Attack. Whenever you creature control damage to a player, you may draw that many cards. You could do like 6 damage, draw 6 cards. You could bring yourself right back into the game with this. And it looks cool. And it looks cool. Meteor Crater, our 4th land of... Wow, if this was foil, it would be the coolest looking card so far. It's still cool. How cool does that look? Is this what Earth is going to look like one day? And you and I will no longer be around to see it happen. Land. Choose a color of a permanent you control. Add 1 mana of that color. Legendary artifact spacecraft. When Sarima? When the Sarima enters, search your library for a legendary creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle. Flying. Other tapped legendary creatures you control have indestructible. I'm still trying to fathom this. So, is this a 3-cost 5/5 that has summoning sickness, and you can just attack after that? This is a foil, yes. So once you have 7 on it, then you can attack. So until then, it's just an artifact, and then when you get 7 counters, it's now a 5/5 flying with indestructible. Right? Okay, cool. I am learning. Very, very cool. And then we've got the Lander token. And the Human Soldier. Guys, that was a cool deck. Sorry, a cool pack. Starwinder, coolest card, I think. Mostly because it's a Leviathan and I like Leviathans. Plains, Galaxy Foil Plains. Starwinder, cool as fuck. I think if this Meteor Crater was foil, it would be probably the coolest looking card so far. It's already, it looks cool, don't get me wrong, guys. Right, booster number 6. This is fun, not gonna lie. Here we go. If it's crap, we know who to blame. It's not gonna be bad, it's gonna be a great one. I can already tell. We didn't even get an art card, that's how good it is. All right, depressurize. Target creature gets -3, -0 until end of turn. Then if the creature's power is 0 or less, destroy it. It's kind of cool. Mental Modulation. Spell costs 1 less to cast during your turn. Tap target creature or artifact, draw a card. Shattered Wings. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Survey 1. Flight Deck Coordinator. These are all new cards. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, you gain 2 life. Swarm Color. Flying. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, draw a card. Faller's Faithful. When this creature enters, destroy up to 1 other target creature. If that creature wasn't dealt damage this turn, it controls draws 2 cards. Melshrider's Resolve. Enchant creature you control. This aura enters. Enchanted creature fights up to 1 target creature an opponent controls. Enchanted creature gets +0/+2 and can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. And All Fate Scrolls. The last of the uncommons. Add 1 mana of any color. 7 cost tap. Sacrifice this artifact. Draw X cards where X is the number of differently named lands you control, which in this set is not difficult. The Mother of Pearl Fire on the poop deck. Pestili's opening. Alright, here we go. Void Forged Titan. It's just got Void. And then this is the same planes as before, but not. So this is the same as the Galaxy Foil, but not Galaxy Foil. So see the difference? It's kind of cool that I can show that like that. All right, here we go. Sweet, are you delivering the goods? Elegy Elokite. Lifelink. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Void. At the beginning of your end step, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped this turn, create a 2/2 colors robot. All right, here we go. Scouring Swarm. Scouring Swarm. Flying. Whenever you sacrifice a land, create a tap token that's a copy of this creature. If 7 or more land cards are in your graveyard, otherwise create a tapped 1/1 black insect creature token with flying. Looks cool. Looks cool. Corral of the Void. Enchant creature you control. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, put target creature from the defending player's graveyard on top of the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, put target creature from defending player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking. That is absolutely cool. Pain Waffles, thanks for the 10 gifted subs. You got gifted a sub, make sure you say thanks. This is really cool. Grove of the Born Willows. Mythic Land. Non-foil. Add colors or add fires or forest. Each opponent gains 1 life. These lands are straight fire. How cool is that? And I like the fact that it's like a fire or forest like land, and so they've made it red and green. I actually think that looks really cool. And then the red going into the green across here just looks so cool. Martinius Massacre Foil. That's a normal foil. Munitions. Mutinius. No, it's M-U-T-I-N-O-U-S. Mutinius. Mutinous. Maybe it's mutinous. Mutinous, like mutiny massacre. Oh, this is the one we had before. This is the I win card. So this is like full art foil. Choose odd or even. Destroy each creature with the mana value of chosen quality. Then gain control of all creatures until end of turn. Untap them. They gain haste until end of turn. 0 is even. Alternative art, full art. I don't know what it is. It's just a cool looking card. Pull any golden chocos? Not today, sir. Not today. Did get this one though. I think Sweets is the best card so far. Sweets? Claps in the chat for Sweets. Well done. Showcase, there you go. Compare the two. So it's an alternative art. All right, here we go. All right. Cryo Shatter. Enchanted creature gets -5, -0. When enchanted creature becomes tapped or is dealt damage, destroy it. Ooh, a land card this early? Common Bridge, land is tapped. When this land enters, sacrifice it unless you tap or when this land enters, sacrifice it unless you tap an untap permanent you control. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. It's interesting. Red Tiger Mechan. Haste, Warp 3/3. Sinister Cryologist. A Jellyfish. When this creature enters, target creature and opponent controls get -3, -0 until end of turn. Bombard. Deal 4 damage to target creature. Memorial Team Leader. During your turn, other creatures you control get +1/+0. It has Warp. Honored Knight Captain. When this creature enters, create a 1/1 white human creature token. 6 cost. Sacrifice this creature. Search your library for an equipment card. Put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Okay. Mechan Assembler. I feel like we've had that before. Whenever another artifact you control enters, create a 2/2 colorless robot, artifact creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn. Virulent Silencer. Whenever a non-token artifact creature you control deals combat damage to a player, that player gets 2 poison counters. Haven't seen anything poison in this set until now. All right, Mountain. I think we've got this one as a galaxy foil as well. So you can see the difference. The difference between the galaxy foil and not. It's really hard to show you with the camera, but one, all the lands look sick. But yeah. All right. Here we go. Esteli Reclaimer. Whoops. 5 cost Flying Angel Warrior. When this creature enters, return target non-creature, non-land permanent card with the mana X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast this creature. Oh, so it's got Warp 2. That's pretty cool. All right, here we go. Non-foil Immudian Hatchery. Tap, it's a land card. Tap, pay 1 life, add a swamp, put a hatchling counter on this land. When this land is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, for each hatchling counter on it, create a 1/1 black insect token with flying. That seems really ordinary. I don't know, maybe there's like a way that make it better. Beyond the Quiet. Non-foil full art. Exile all creatures and spacecraft. Looks cool though. We've got the art card of this as well. Deserted Temple. Tap, 8 colors, tap, 1 cost tap, untap target land. Borderless will also remove the text box. So what do you call it? A full art. Yeah, where are the foils? There's no foils along this whole last line of cards. So this is borderless or extended art. This is extended art. Look, I'm learning here. Memorial Vault. We've had that one before. And that's a foil Memorial Vault. And then we've got the Clue and Beast Token. This is a collector box, chat. There's a collector box. This is not a normal booster box. A normal booster box, I think, is going for around $200, maybe $250. I can't remember. In US, like 150 US. So, like, perspective, chat. If I told you how much I paid for this, you wouldn't believe me, right? This is currently worth, unless I'm mistaken or it's changed, this is worth about 14 to 1500 US dollars. Around 2,500 Australian, right? If I told you how much I paid, you wouldn't believe me. Because I got it just before it went crazy. Like, I'm afraid to open it for how cheap I got it. You should hold it. Man, if that's got a serialized Chocobo in there, I don't know. I'll cry. I think I paid 800 Australian, so that's like 400 US, I think. Maybe 500 US I paid for that box. In Australia, you can't get that for under $2,500 now. Like, I could literally just sell this box as is. I could sell this box right now and make like $1,400 Australian on it. Like 1,000 US. But I want to open it. But like, I don't want to open it because it's like, it's just cool to hold on to it as it is, because it's like, in my mind, it's like, there's a serialized Chocobo in there. There's a serialized Chocobo in there, and I know it. But the second I open it, the magic's gone, you know? All right, here we go. Does that scare you? Why do they make it so tight? All right, we have an art card already, so it's already better than a token. So you're already in the wins. All right, here we go. Mechanoza. This is an artifact. So when this creature enters, tap target artifact or creature your opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. Nice. And it has warp. Warp is cool. Slag Drill Scrapper. Sacrifice another artifact or land. Draw a card. Cryo Shatter. I've already had that one before, so we'll skip. What does warp do? I'll explain on the next one we get. Dark Endurance. This spell costs 1 less to cast if it targets a blocking creature. Target creature gets +2/+0 and gains indestructible until the end of turn. Focus Fire. Focus Fire deals X damage to target attacking or blocking creature where X is 2 plus the number of creatures and or spacecraft you control. Ilvoy Infiltrator. This creature can't be blocked if you've cast 2 or more spells this turn. Whenever this creature deals damage to a target player, draw a card. Nice. All Fate Stalker. This creature enters, exile up to 1 target non-assassin creature until this creature leaves the battlefield. Sorry, this is what Warp does. So it's a 4-cost card. Warp for 2 cost. You may cast this card from your hand for its warp cost. Exile this creature at the beginning of your next end step. Then you may cast it from exile on a later turn. So effectively, you get to cast it twice. You cast it at the end of your next end step. You exile it, and then you can cast it for the full cost. So you get to cast it cheap and for full. So that's what Warp does. Caravan Harrier, Whenever this creature attacks, you may pay 2. If you do, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token that's tapped and attacking. Sacrifice that token at the end of combat. That's cool. That's cool. That's for like the typical red burst down kind of deck. Lightless Evangel. 2 cost. Whenever you sacrifice another creature or artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Ooh, a Galaxy Foil Forest. Galaxy Foil Forest. See, Perfecta, we knew you would deliver. Look at that. Gorgeous, just like Perfecta. All right. What is next installed for us? A Mythic Land foil Avendo Waking Haven. This land enters tapped. Add a forestation. Tap another creature you control. Yeah, we know what station does. At 12 cost, pay 1 and tap. Add 1 for each creature you control. Delivering the goods. Perfecta. It's a budget guy's cradle. And it looks cool. So this is something new with this set. So see how the art comes through the edge of the border there? We had a card earlier on that showed it. I wish all cards did it, but it obviously just looks cooler like that. It just looks so much cooler. I love it. Prettiest set to date. Next up, Insight Engine. 2 cost and tap. Put a charge counter on this artifact when you draw a card for each charge counter on it. Put a charge counter on this artifact, then draw a card for each charge counter on it. Oh, wow. That is cool. Next, Sunstar Chaplain. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. 2, remove a +1/+1 counter from a creature you control. Tap target artifact or creature. I need to get this wording right. So this is what? Full art, borderless. Full art, because it still has that. Borderless would not have these borders. Extended art. Okay, extended art Sunstar Chaplain. Non-foil. Okay, so an extended art Eldrazi Temple. Tap, get 1 mana. Tap, get 2 mana. Spend this mana only to cast colorless Eldrazi spells or activate abilities colorless Eldrazi. So this isn't extended. What is this? This is full art. I've lost my mind. All right, full art. All right, last but not least, Perfecta, you've already given us the goods with the Avendo Waking Haven. A Secluded Starforge foil land. Wait, what's the $89 card? This looks cool. Secluded Starforge. I'm delivering good things. You are, sir. You are. Tap, add colorless mana. 2 cost tap. Tap X untapped target artifact. Sorry. 2 cost tap. Tap X untapped artifacts you control. Target creature gets +X/+0 until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. 5 cost tap. Create a 2/2 colors robot artifact creature token. I think Magic Man's broken. Which one's meant to be the $89 one? The Eldrazi Temple, maybe? That looks cool. But that's not foil. That's just there's no way that's $80 when it's not foil. Oh, wow. Wow. That just looks cool. This is just an art card. So this is the Quantum Riddler. There you go. All right, booster number 9. Let's dedicate this one to my wife. And then no matter what happens, we can't be disappointed because my wife she's legit. She's too legit to quit. All right? So if it's shit, we just shut up and we move on. We know our place, chat. We know our place. She's letting me buy magic cards to rip open on stream. We can't complain, can we? The Ancient Tombs incoming. Imagine. All right. Starfighter pilot. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, survey. Pinnacle kill ship. When this spacecraft enters, it deals 10 damage to up to 1 target creature. That's cool. Dockwork drone. This creature enters with +1/+1 counter on it. When this creature dies, put its counters onto a target creature you control. Oh, how cool is this? How cool is this? Hey, Poochie. Chrome Companion. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, you gain 1 life. 2 tap. Put target creature from your graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library. And it's cool how the foil, see how its eyeball there? It's like half its face is like part of the foil. So cool. Lost in Space. Target artifact or creature owner puts it from, target artifact or creature's owner puts it on their choice of the top or bottom of their library, survey 1. That actually makes sense for it to be dedicated to my wife if there's a pupper in there. Okay, Menon Uthros Exile. Legendary creature, Jellyfish Advisor. Flying, when an artifact creature you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. I reckon there's going to be some really fun decks to make out of this. I really should learn how to make decks. I mostly just copy other people's decks for now, but when I get better, definitely be cool to make some decks. Okay, as additional cost of this spell, choose a creature you control or a warped creature card you own in exile. Closing counter deals damage equal to the power of the chosen creature or card to target creature. Okay. Whoa, this card looks actually kind of pog. Maybe it's the blue with the purple. Camera doesn't give it justice. Kind of really like sharp and snappy. The Sculpting Blast. And the head's going flying. See Busy, thanks for 13 months. Good Tidings Chum, when shall the card eating stream be? Many thanks. I don't eat cards for a living. I eat food. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If it was attacking, create a 1/1 colors drone artifact creature token with flying. This token can be block only creatures with flying. Vault Guard Trooper. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tap creatures, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 2 cards. Standard Plains, we've had this one before. All right, here we go. Requiem Monolith. Requiem Monolith. Until end of turn, target creature gains. Whenever this creature is dealt damage, you may draw that many cards and lose that much life. That creature's controller may have this artifact deal 1 damage to it. Activate only as a sorcery. Foil Requiem Monolith. Have we had any hits? We have some banger hits already. All right, next up. Horizon Explorer. Lands you control enter tapped. Whenever you attack a player, create a lander token. So an extended art. I'm learning here. Extended art Horizon Explorer. The Sarima. We had that one earlier. This one is not foil. Ooh. Galaxy foil. I'm imagining that says Dust Bowl. Galaxy foil Dust Bowl. Land. Sacrifice a land, destroy target non-basic land. Magic's happy. $148. Seriously, no shot. Okay, obviously that as a that's a increased value because it's still early days. But this is why I married my wife. She's valuable, you know? She's valuable, you know? Even when it comes to Magic cards, she delivers. Galaxy foil will stay high. Well, my wife's like the old Dust Bowl, you know? I don't know what that was meant to mean. Galaxy foil Dust Bowl. Galaxy foil shock lands are like $300 still. I don't know what a shock land is. But there we go. And then last but not least, Alkalite. Algae Alkalite. Didn't we find this one earlier? Foil. Is that not it there? Nope, that's different. It's like we're collecting the set. Oh, we got this one as a non-foil. So, creature, human, cleric, lifelink. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you draw a card and lose 1 life. And it's got void as well. Check the writing on the bottom. Big QC error. What does that mean? On the other card. What card? And we've got an elemental. That looks cool. And a gnome. All right, let's have to pick it up. All right, this one dedicated to Nikita Jeanburn, Boyanov. This one will all be tokens. Look, what if he delivers? What if he delivers? You know, you gotta have a little faith in the world. Nikita, he's given us a good game. All right, at the end of the day, no matter what, he's given us a good game to play. All right, starting off. All right, dock worker drone. This makes me feel like we've had that one before, by the way. Ilvoy Gale Blade, we've had that before as well. Melded Moxite. When the artifact enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. 3 cost. Sacrifice this artifact, create a tapped 2/2 colors robot artifact creature token. Drix Fate Maker. When this creature enters, there is something going on right there. You see that? See that scuffed bit? Nikita scuffed the cards. You see that? Like right there, right under the word wizard. The symbol from the bottom is misprint upwards. What symbol at the bottom? Of course, Nikita's pack is scuffed. It's a scuffed packet, what can I say? That could be a lot, what do you mean? Look at another card, there's a silver oval at the bottom, which one? Yeah, but this is just a common that's misprint. Anyway, Drix Fate Maker, we've had that before. With a misprint. Sammy's Curiosity. You gain 2 life, create a lander token. That's it. Bygone Colossus. Warp 3 cost. It's a 9 cost with a warp 3 cost. Wait, that's cool. So you can cast this for 3, attack on your next turn, and then it gets rid of it. And you can attack on turn 4 with a 9/9. That's cool. And I'm sure there's a card you could bring it out. No, but so to my understanding, right, you lose it before you can attack. I thought it was on your next turn. You may cast this card from your hand for its warp cost. Exile this creature at the beginning of your next end step. Then you may cast it from exile on a later turn. So if you cast it at the start of your turn, your next is the one you straight up have, not the following turn. Okay. So then maybe there's a card that gives you haste. I don't know. Another Leviathan, Glacio Godmore, 7 cost, trample. When this creature enters, create a lander card. Landfall, whenever a land you control enters, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain vigilance and haste until end of turn. Whenever a land you control enters, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain vigilance and haste until end of turn. That is nutty. That is nutty. You social engineering. Landfall, whenever a land you control enters, create a 2/2 colors robot artifact creature token, and it has warp. So you can cast this, put a land down, get a 2/2 colors robot, then cast it again later on to have it permanently in. This is like one of those cards I was talking about before, how the art goes outside of the actual edge. Just looks cool. Galvanizing Sourship. Station, tap another creature. Oh yeah. So at three tokens, it has flying haste into 6/5. That's cool. All right, that's a basic forest foil. Looks very cool. All right, here we go. Will Nikita deliver? Beyond the Quiet. This is just a standard Beyond the Quiet foil. Exile all creatures and spacecraft. We've actually got the art card for Beyond the Quiet and the other like special cool looking one. It's a regular one. Next up, Mythic Inspirit Flagship Vessel. Legendary Artifact Spacecraft. So this is a borderless. Good commander card because it's got the 3 colors. At 1 counter, at the beginning of your combat on your turn, put your choice of a +1/+1 counter or 2 charge counters on up to 1 other target artifact. And then 8, it's a flying with 5/5. Other artifacts you control have hexproof and indestructible. It's a cool looking card. Very cool, actually. Another Watery Grave. Non-foil this time, but still not gonna complain about a Watery Grave. It's our second Watery Grave. As this land enters, you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters tapped. So we've actually got another one of these already. If I hold it like that, I've got a foil one right here. Not Galaxy foil, just foil, but still. No complaints. No complaints at all. All right, next up. Echoing Deeps foil. Land Cave. You may have this land enter tapped as a copy of any in a graveyard, except it's as a addition to its other type. That looks cool AF. That looks cool as fuck. I love how this part looks too. Like, it's like a black hole. And last but not least, Carol of the Void. Carol of the Void. Enchant creature you control. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, put target creature card from defending player's graveyard into the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking. With also Void. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifice this aura unless a non-permanent left the battlefield this turn, or a spell was warped this turn. The Carol Baskin's Void. And then the token. Look, Nikita didn't not deliver. We've got a Watery Grave and an Echoing Depth. Some really cool looking cards. Nikita delivered. I'm going to say Nikita delivered. All right. So, I think I've been right this whole time. All right. Auraplate Pangolin. Whenever another artifact you control enters, you may pay 1. If you do, put a +1/+1 on this creature. Thorbringer. When this creature enters or dies, survey 1. Shattered Wings. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. We've had that before. Sammy's Curiosity. You gain 2 life. Create a lander token. We've had that before. Galactic Warfarer. When this creature enters, create a lander. Full Bore. Target creature you control gets +3/+2 until end of turn. If the creature was cast for its warp cost, it also gains trample and haste until end of turn. So that's where you could use that 10/10 or whatever it was. If you've got the mana, you could warp it in and then pay this, and it would get haste and trample. So you'd have that 9/9 with haste and trample. I think it was a 9/9, so then it'd be now then a 12/11 with haste and trample. This is a really cool looking card. Have a look at that. All right, Tragic Trajectory. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Void. That creature gets -10, -10 until end of turn. Instead, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn, or a spell was warped this turn. That's cool. Stillsworn Operator. Flying, tap, add 1 mana, spend this mana only to cast an artifact spell. Add 2, spend this mana only to activate abilities on artifact sources. It looks like Drake, don't you mean? Seam Rip. This is actually kind of like replicating Drake when I think about it, right? Not to like just pause for a second, but like Drake likes being cheap, and that's a 1-cost spell there. That's a 1 cost, that's a 1 cost, that's a 2 cost, and this is a 1 cost. So this is definitely Drake's deck. All right, Seam Rip, 1 cost. With this enchantment enters, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls with a mana value 2 or less until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. Okay, then we've got a foil mountain. These look so gorgeous. Just like Drake, gorgeous. Next up, Secluded Starforge land. It's a bit of a mark on that card. Secluded Starforge. Tap, just a colorless mana, 2-cost tap. Tap X, untapped artifact you control. Oh yeah, we've had that one before, I think. Now we just need a full art of someone screaming. Here we go. You ready? Planetary Annihilation. Each player chooses 6 lands they control, sacrifices the rest. Planetary Annihilation deals 6 damage to each creature. That is cool. Planetary Annihilation. All right, next up from Mr. Drankzilla. Sammy the Wildcat Captain. 6 cost, double strike and vigilance. Spells you cast have affinity for artifacts. It's 1176 apparently. All right, Drake, this is your one of the last 3 chances to shine. Shambling Vent. We haven't had the Ancient Tomb yet. Shambling Vent. Land, this end enters tapped. White or black mana until end of turn. Sorry, I'm not rich, bro. There's still chance. There's still chance, Drake. All right. And last but not least. Oh, Drakey boy. The Breeding Pool Galaxy Foil. Oh, damn. This is smexy indeed. Breeding Pool Galaxy Foil, huge hit. As this land enters, you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters tapped. $138. Galaxy Foil Breeding Pool. This has been a banger set, by the way. Oh, there is a line down the center. You're right. You see that? Scarfed. It's part of it. I don't know if it is. Jeez, look how cool it looks on that angle. By the way, just saying. Those lines are meant. Those lines are the imperfections, just like Drake. You know, he's valuable, but he's imperfect like the rest of us. I would say they're intentional, but they... no, they're not intentional. There's no way. Absolutely ruined. Please send for me to disposal. Still looks cool. Drake, look, you're perfect to me, mate. All right. Oh, look at the art card too. Absolutely pretty. Stopped playing Tarkov years ago because it was too stressful. Mainly play Magic now. Was so stoked to see you doing some Magic streams. My pleasure, mate. There we go. Look, let's just say that is a solid 9 anyway. It's not a 10, but the breeding pool is a solid 9. I still think Red's got his work cut out for him, right? But yeah, it's definitely got lines through it. Like, see, look at that there. I can't get a better angle to show you because it's obviously my ceiling light in the way, but still, it's not as good as my wife's Dust Bowl. Let's be honest. Okay, but it's still good. Save the best for last. Pack number 12 always delivers. It's a known fact that when you pull boosters from a box, the last pack is always got the best card. All right, Mr. Red Ops, let's see how you go. We've got 7 minutes till the next ads. Okay, here we go. Last dud pack. We've had nothing but bangers, mate. Nothing but bangers today. Bangers and mash. Bangers and mash. All right, Pedigree Beckoner. When this creature enters until the end of turn, another creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains. When this creature dies, return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control with whoop. Pinnacle Killship. We've had this one before. When this spacecraft enters, it deals 10 damage to up to 1 target creature. Auraplate Pangolin. We've had that one before. Lost in Space. Target creature or artifact owner puts in it to... Target artifact or creature's owner puts it on the choice of the top or bottom of their library, survey 1. Had that before, actually. Bombard, deal 4 damage to target creature. I've had that before. Honor. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Draw a card. It's a new one. Dauntless Scrapbot. When this creature enters, exile each opponent's graveyard. Create a lander token. Umbro Collar Zealot. Sacrifice another creature or artifact. Survey 1. Atmospheric Greenhouse. This is what I talked about before about the art going through the edge. Looks so cool. Honestly, looks so cool. It's a spacecraft. Whenever the spacecraft enters, put a +1/+1 counter each creature you control. And if it gets 8 counters, it's flying, trample, and a 5/4. Oh, Billy. Look at this. Galaxy Foil Swamp. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Red Ops coming in with the Galaxy Foil Swamp. Straight off the bat. Can Red Ops seal the deal against our boy, Mr. Drakezilla? Next up. Ragust Daft Gastronaut. In a foil. Artifacts you control are foods in addition to their type. Sacrifice the food. Ragos deals 3 damage to each opponent. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained life this turn, untap Ragost. That's cool. Next up. Patrolling Peacemaker. Definitely not Red Ops. This creature enters with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever an opponent commits a crime, proliferate. Here we go. Zero-point Ballad. Destroy all creatures with toughness X or less. You lose X life. If X is 6 or more, return a creature card, return a creature card, put it into a graveyard this way to the battlefield under your control. Return a creature card, put into the graveyard this way to the battlefield under your control. Cascading? I don't even know how to say the fucking name. Because it's Cascading Cataracts. Non-foil. Land indestructible. Tap, add colors. 5 tap, add 5 mana in any combination of colors. Looks cool AF. Very, this in a foil would look really sick. Would look really sick. It looks sick AF right now, but look, you know what I mean. Okay, red's got one last shot, one opportunity. Best looking non-foil you've got. I think there was one other card that I honestly thought as a foil would probably be the best. All right, here we go. The burgeoning. What the heck is this? A foil burgeoning. Whenever an opponent plays a land, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Enchantment. Is that another mark along the right-hand side? Is that meant to be there? Surely that's meant to be there. That is so defined. It's like a poster, right? It's meant to have that. Yes, it's supposed to. Thank the Lord. 60. So is it a 1 cost, right? Am I getting this right? 1 cost. Whenever an opponent plays a land, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. That is broken. There's no way that card. 1 cost green? Oh, it is green, yeah. Wow, we had some bangers. Wow, we had some bangers. Holy moly. Jeez. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. I thought Red Ops wasn't going to deliver. Which is wrong of me because Red Ops always delivers. You know, he wasn't like a Mr. Drakezilla delivery, but the problem with Mr. Drakezilla delivery was it was broken. You know, like it wasn't as... He gave me a scuffed version of his best. Whereas red always gives me the polished version. For anyone who's watching this on the YouTube video, what I mean by that is Red Ops and Mr. Drakes are both content creators that I play video games with. And so that was reference to them as people. Now, if you've been watching this on YouTube and you've enjoyed it, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And starting from when I get back, which will be in about 9 or 10 days time, I'll be opening a booster a day till the box is open and then giving the best card away. That's what I'll be doing with my collector boosters. So, all right, this is what we got. This is our best bangers of the day. The Burgeoning, apparently worth about 45 bucks. I don't honestly care about the value or whatever because I'm actually doing this for myself for a bit of fun. But yeah, Burgeoning, 45 buckaroonies US. Dust Bowl, $140 or something. Galaxy Foil Dust Bowl. This is was dedicated to my wife. Well, the Burgeoning's a foil, so I don't know. We've got Breeding Pool Galaxy Foil with lots of printing lines. So I would argue that that's probably not worth $114. It's probably more like, I don't know, less. Eldrazi Temple, non-foil, $80. These prices will obviously drop massively. Mutinous Massacre in the alternative art. This one, I think they said it was about 80 bucks, but this one obviously, these will all drop, but just at current price on like day one, this is what they're currently selling for. Evendo Waking Haven also was worth about 60 or so bucks. So yeah, there's no way that you're gonna hold these kind of values. Exalted Sunburn was like 30 bucks or 20 bucks. Sarima was about 15 or 20. Afrail was only worth 5 or 10. We also had over here, these are some Galaxy Foil Swamp, Echoing Deeps, Watery Grave non-foil, apparently 15 bucks there. And then these are all Galaxy Foil lands. I just reckon they look sick. And then they've got a Watery Grave foil, which was like 40 or 50 bucks. So I imagine a lot of these prices will drop massively. I'm keeping these cards for myself anyway. I'm gonna have these as part of my collection. The way I'm doing it, guys, is when there's a new set come out, I'm probably gonna buy 3 or 4 collector boxes. And then of those collector boxes, the first one I'll open for myself for a bit of fun, make a YouTube video for you guys. And then the other ones, as I get them, I'll open up a booster a day, and at the end of the box, I'll give away the best card. And that will be done via YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. So that's it for the Magic the Gathering for today. I might jump across to do a little bit of Tarky. But hopefully you guys thought that was fun. I thought it was a bit of fun. And my back's sore from standing up so long.